Hello, welcome, velkommen, which it's called in Norwegian. Just a small chat between myself, Svein Are from UiT, the Arctic University of Norway, and
I'm Steve Yorkstone from Edinburgh Napier University here in Scotland. Last week, we asked a question on Facilitation Friday. We said, what is the biggest challenge to facilitating online? We had a little bit of responses on social media, and Reading the Room emerged. Anna Gray and Gretel Stonebridge kind of raised that up as a question. So we thought we'd spend just a couple of minutes today talking about how you read the room online. So Sven-Ari, how'd you do it?
yeah, well, online, it means this has been a topic that's been discussed for the last year, of course, during the pandemic, and it's well known also here in Norway that we feel it's more troublesome to read the room online because of the lack of contact and we have fewer of our senses working. So what I do is tend to kind of be present and use my senses actively to observe where people at, what kind of position how do they position their bodies? Does it seem like they're present themselves? Use my ears to capture tones, but this is kind of I feel it's a language I'm learning. I'm acquiring a new language when reading the room online, and I find it hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something we need to learn.
Mm-hmm. I did a bit of research based on the chat that we had last time, and I think the psychologists talk about ensemble perception, the ability to see faces in a group and pick out the meaning that's going on there. And I don't think we can do it the same way online. I think we have to. I find myself leaning forward and watching people's eye movements on web calls, and I don't know how sustainable that is. But I think we have opportunities to use different approaches. So like using the hand up thing, I think if you actually use it and you're able to notice that stuff, it's really useful, And I think about facilitation for people who might not normally be able to participate the same way. Because ensemble perception is kind of based on being neurotypical. If you're not neurotypical, you're probably not going to be able to get the same thing out of ensemble perception anyway. So what's interesting is that if we use online meetings carefully, we can in a way be more inclusive. And to be honest, certainly when it's a group of more than 5 or 6 people, I'm always aware that I never really know if that person in the back row is actually paying attention, or if they're really good at looking at paying attention whilst they're actually doing their shopping in their head,
I think that's true. That's also my experience. It's the article that we're going to share with you. It says that it's apparently quite good at ensemble perception, but at the same time, when you think of it in a physical event, how good are you actually at doing it? So we will also get fooled in a physical event. So I just think that we need to acquire those skills in a new way. And I support the idea that we are actually able to maybe include more people than we would normally going online, but still.
And I guess we have to trust that people are there because they want to be there, you know? And if people turn up to a meeting online, we have to kind of give them the respect they're there because they've got something to give, and give them the space to take. And if that space isn't taken, then maybe it's worth a quick check-in later and saying, what was going on? Is there something that I can do differently to make sure that we get a view out of that? And then maybe leave ourselves open to being surprised as to what might actually be going on.
I agree. And I think that our discussion now jumps more directly onto the kind of important stuff, because we tend to now overlook the fact that in order to be able to read a room, we should have all the technical stuff figured out. But that's not for me, the most interesting stuff to talk about. But of course, if the camera works, the sound is all right, and you can actually both hear and see people. But I feel like we have come to a place now where that's not really an issue anymore, but it could be. But that's not the interesting stuff. Is how do you use the senses through this online digital medium to read the room?
Yeah, maybe we're lucky, Spanari, to live in Scotland and Norway and have really good internet. Yeah.
That is true.
Okay. So, um, where from here?
Well, we would like to have more input on facilitation. We would like to try to push forward an understanding online facilitation, digital facilitation, and what we need to develop of skills. So more input, please, from people.
So watch out, we'll be tweeting. Apparently that's a thing still. And we have a new hashtag, which is?
Bærekraftig facilitation.
Which means something exciting in Norwegian, and we're not going to tell you now. You'll have to stay to find out precisely what that means.
Cool.
Okay, so that's enough for now, I think.
Agreed.
So thank you very much, and we'll see you maybe in the future.
See you.